What's up, my peeps? 53 Shades Darker in the Philippines, coming to you with another video. Where have you been, 53? That's every email that I've received or text. I'm getting a lot of emails saying, where you been? Well, like everybody knows, I come out here for 6 months to my hometown, and then I have another place in the Philippines. There's more to do than just being in the Philippines. So I'm six on and 6 off. So I'm about to head back pretty soon, but I'll be back into business, so if anybody want to know where I've been doing, what's been up, it's just been, I've been taking care of business. So today, what I want to talk to you about, since I haven't talked to you guys in a while now, just sifting through. Well, first of all, before I get into this video, I want to say shout out to the 1st Infantry Division, the 201st Forward Support Battalion, my old unit where I deployed to Iraq. Shout out to Captain Khan, rest in peace, and all my fellow soldiers that's out there looking at the video. Anyway, this video, what I want to talk to you about today is, in the opening, you see the people with the arrow. So what that means is lifting people up. I mean, it's maybe a little corny thing, but I just came up with that idea just to do that. I want to talk to you for about 15 minutes, and I want to go into something and touch on a few things. After sifting through all these videos, looking at all these people, I'm laughing, it's comical. It's just a mess right now. And what I've noticed is a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, this is in particular for the YouTube vloggers. And without saying any names, you'll probably figure it out. But without saying any names, I want to talk about this. When we have vloggers out there that always seem to go after people that has a lot of subscribers. They want to bring them down. They want to say all this negative stuff, and they want to talk and feed all this negativity and things like that. This is what I have to say about that. In a work environment where I was working, I let the pen do the writing or the talking, pretty much. Don't say nothing to these people. Just ignore them. But this is what I got to say about these people that do that kind of stuff. Have you ever had a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, and she had a good friend or whatever, and that friend that she had was always gossiping, always putting negativity stuff in your wife or girlfriend or significant others in their ear and feeding her negative stuff? Have you ever had that? So that's how I kind of look at these guys that's making all these negative videos, spending an hour talking about another person, and it's all negative. Instead of lifting people up, they want to bring them down. And I'm talking about the Americans. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about Americans. And the problem that I have with it, it seems like a lot of these people that's doing it, they all veterans. So, I'm a veteran, and doing this to other veterans and saying all this kind of stuff, back in the old days when I went into the military in 1986, and we used to have what they call soap parties, soap parties at nighttime. You kind of figure it out. You'll figure it out what a soap party is. But, I just think that these days, you don't want to have no kind of problems like that where it's going to cause any of those kind of things. I guess people haven't learned the lessons from what happened over here in Vegas. You don't know, a lot of these veterans, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know their state of mind. You don't know what they're dealing with internally. You don't know what they've been through. And to do that kind of stuff, especially from veterans, I don't understand it. Instead of bringing up somebody, they choose to put all this negativity in the person's in people's minds. So for instance, if you don't know the person, if you've never really had contact with them, how can you make a judgment and say that, yeah, this is true about this person when you know nothing about that person? It's only a few people that know things about me. And for somebody to say some things, it's like for the viewers and for the listeners to actually feed into that and then make comments on other people's channel about an individual or a person. You're kind of like that girlfriend that's spreading those kind of false things, and it's just drama. Okay, it's just unnecessary drama that you don't know. And I think what the problem is, I figured it out. I was sitting down and I was thinking about this. Most of these guys that's doing that, and without me even identifying people, you would already figure it out. But most of these guys that's doing this kind of stuff, they're hiding behind the wall. And what I call the wall is they're hiding behind 8,000 miles from their hometown. Because the reason why I say that is because a person like me, who's an investor and who has business over in the Philippines, I have too much to lose. I have way too much to lose to be doing something that's going to get me in some kind of trouble. So these guys know this, and they know you're probably not going to do nothing unless you step up to somebody. That's a whole different scenario. And I'm not advocating no kind of violence. I'm just talking like in general to men and women who's listening. But they know that you're not going to do anything over in that country. You won't do anything, because if you do, both people, they're going to get deported. Nobody wants that on their record. So they know, these guys know this. You're not going to go to them. You're not going to approach them. You're not going to say anything, because you and that person have run a chance of getting deported. Now, you come to their home country, it's a whole different ball game. But I doubt if you see that. I doubt if you see anything like that. So, I want to tell you this little quick thing, and it's a true story. So it kind of relates to what I'm getting into. In 1955, there was a 14-year-old Chicagoan boy who was visiting his relatives in, I believe, Mississippi on around August 24th, 1955. This kid was accused of whistling or like catcalling at a woman, right? So the word got around this kid was doing all this stuff based on no facts, people not knowing the truths, and just going by something that they heard or from somebody, what somebody said. You see where it's tying into where I'm getting at? And like a few days later, this kid was found in the Tallahatchie River, beaten to death. His body was so unrecognizable, and based on what this person has said about, hey, this person did this, and so this is what happened to this kid. To make a long story short, 65 years later, the woman recanted her story and said that it was all fabricated. So I said that to say this. When you hear something, or when you hear, like, for instance, that little person, your friend's girlfriend, saying all this stuff and putting all this bad information out, it's okay to look at a video. Just in my opinion, it's okay to look at a video, maybe get your giggle off or whatever, but when you comment and say something, that kind of information gets around, and it's bad information that's could be not even true, because you didn't find out the facts, you didn't research the information for yourself, do your due diligence, and see, hey, you never know a person until you get to meet them. Okay, so I'm just saying, anytime, whenever you see those kind of videos, think about that your girlfriend's friend that's putting that information out there is always gossiping, always saying negative stuff about somebody else. And you have to think, if you are entertained by that, it tells you something about yourself. If you're entertained about that and willing to go ahead and put some information about somebody that you know nothing about, that shows you something about yourself. So, I said all this to say this. Uplift somebody. I know I've done it. So you want to know what uplifting somebody is? This is what uplifting somebody is. Now that's uplifting somebody. It could be a family member, or it can be a relative. It could be whoever. You're bringing them up instead of bringing people down. And you know what? I didn't stop there. I continued on to do this. You see, my daughter is a nurse. I've worn several uniforms in my 57 years on this earth. Yes, another uniform. You see, my daughter is a nurse. She's an LVN. So in her process of becoming a nurse, she gave me this.
We're going to Disneyland.
Disneyland? Disneyland? Disneyland?
We're going to Disneyland.
Disneyland?
Did you forget your line?
Yes. Did you start?
Nope. No, we're going to Disneyland.
Disneyland? We're going to Disneyland? Yes!
Okay, we're going to Disneyland.
Disneyland? We're going to Disneyland? Okay, okay. So tell me when to say it.
Ready?
Soda Pop Twisters.
Okay.
I love Disneyland. Disneyland, we're going to Disney. Yes, I love Disneyland. I wanted to do mostly the French River. Wait, how did you see me through the camera? We're going to Disneyland? Yes, I love Disneyland. I knew this was going to be a magical day.
And 2 years after that, she gave me this.
Ooh, green. Say green. Yeah. Ooh, no. Let's get that snot. Ew, ew. Ew, ew, snot.
Me? It's green.
It's green.
And it kind of slowed her process down. So, lifting people up, me being a part of wearing so many uniforms, hey, I came up with a good idea. I'm going to give her a challenge. If I can do this as a 57-year-old person, I want to see what she can do. So it's going to push her. It's going to lift her up. So, you never know what you can do until you do it. So, I said all this to say this. Stop bringing people down and lift them up. And then maybe things can be better for the country that we live in. So, lifting people up is the best thing that you can do. Stop bringing people down. Stop being negative. So, until the next video, you'll catch me. Who never knows where I might be, but I'm going all the way to the top with this. So I'll see you later, and I'll see you on the next video. Oh, I forgot one thing.